Hey, Speedwinghere here, and today I wanted to talk about Fire Emblem archers, and more importantly, how so many people go wrong with trying to buff them in their fan games. Now, it's no secret that the early game GBA archer is a well-known trope of being bad units. In this house, Rebecca is a hero, but for many people, these units are just somewhat a joke. Something I see from time to time in Fire Emblem fan games is an attempt to fix this by buffing archers substantially by making bows 2 free range. This is a terrible idea. When you give bows 2 free range, you make it so that you have units that are able to attack every single unit in the game other than other archers with no fear of retaliation. This just completely ruins bosses, because what you then have to do with your bosses is you then have to either give them 2 free range with bows, meaning people can hit them at 1 range, or every single boss can just be cheesed from range. This issue is then compounded even further when you start getting other types of units that have access to bows, such as warriors. A warrior appearing with 20-something strength and access to free range is just going to trivialize every single boss in your game. Other times you'll see the reverse of this, where people turn bows into 1-2 range. But why? What's the point? This ruins the power fantasy of an archer. This is less egregious for game balance, but then what makes the archer particularly different to a unit with a javelin or a hand axe? Do you want to know the real secret into how to make archers actually good without doing any of this nonsense? Give them more strength. It's that simple. Just give them more strength. What is an archer's role in your army? It's an anti-flyer unit. Give them enough strength that they one-shot flyers. Now, you don't have to go overboard with this, but just make sure they have enough strength and triple effectiveness that they can one-shot flyers for the first sections of the game, while also ensuring that flyers are enough of a threat that the player is looking for a tool to deal with them. There's no point in having an early game archer if there's no early game flyers to deal with. Another cause of archers seeming underwhelming, particularly in fan games, is people will give a lot of unique weapons that can deal with flyers, basically meaning that archers aren't relevant. If you give a wing clipper sword and a tome that takes flyers out in one hit, of course no one's going to use archers, because those units have extra value in other ways, whereas an archer is pretty much relegated to chipping and taking out flyers. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel here, just make sure archers are able to perform their role and not be outclassed by other units for their own niche, and you should be golden. You can even utilize things like ballistas to give archers even more of a unique edge over other units. So what do you think about this? Do you actually like 2 free range bows in Fire Emblem fan games? Or do you have any suggestions on other ways that you can make archers stand out without resorting to this? Let me know down below. And until next time, I'll catch you later.